All right, so theme 6 is all about equity and inclusion. Have you introduced equity and inclusion into your partnership?
That's literally the basis of the partnership,
Yeah.
making sure that we find quality candidates, and we've had some people interview and they ask, are you just looking for African American people? No, we're looking for amazing candidates. And if they
Right.
happen to be African American, we'll take them. If they happen to be Hispanic, we'll take them. So it's really just the messaging has to be proper for that, because a lot of people, they don't, if without the context, right? It's like, oh, the program is hiring, nothing but Hispanic males, and well, if you look at the data, we could use some more Hispanic males in the teaching
Mhm.
profession. We could use some more African American men in the teaching profession.
Mhm.
As much as we can, like we want our students to be able to see themselves in their teachers.
Mhm.
I mean, but also we're looking for people who are amazing candidates, and that's the first step, right? And so just because somebody is an African American male, if they're not a great candidate, then they're out. So it's like you know, one of the people actually interviewed brought up, it sounds like affirmative action kind of thing, and it's like, no, I mean, so the confusion behind what we're doing and why we're doing that was first and foremost to try to get out there, but misconceptions still apply.
Right.
Um, but I think the equity and inclusion piece, if somebody doesn't have a heart for kids, that was kind of like as much as I didn't want to be, labeled that way. Yeah, the directors become like the gatekeepers, right? I mean, it's not just me, right? We have a panel. A whole panel decides this person might not be good for kids, and
Right.
so then like a lot of it has to do with the equity and inclusion. Like if you don't see your role as a teacher in helping all students, really helping all students, we say that, but clearly all of our data is showing us it's not working, right?
Mhm.
And the people who are in the profession with just great hearts, but not that lens for what equity and inclusion means and how to support all students. I mean, that's what we need to change.
Yeah. Do you think that this program, this partnership, you guys can do that through the classroom?
Yes, I mean, it's practical application of it and letting people see what it looks like in a real setting versus just, every teacher I've ever met, they're not racist people. I mean, we're just in general, there might be some bad eggs out there, right? But like, you don't join the teaching profession because you don't like kids, I mean, or because you don't like a certain kind of child or a certain race of people. We join the teaching profession to help.
Right.
Unfortunately, folks just don't know how, and that's part of what we do. We show them what an inclusive classroom looks like, and how all students can feel free and safe to share and learn, right?
Mhm.
Some of the biggest studies that we talk about in our programs, that students they can't and they won't learn from somebody who they don't feel safe around. I
Right.
mean, that's a pretty standard human being reaction,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
just showing what it means to create a positive classroom environment and how students can learn better in those situations.